have seen in the payment of wages that there are powers of coming and inspecting, checking the records, talking to people, taking copies of things. In the same manner, here inspector will have such certain powers. Okay. Appropriate government, again, if it's a state government kya karegi? They will put notification. Okay. They will appoint people for the purposes of inspector, and local limits define karegi. So if I'm in Mumbai, of course it's a very big city, so an inspector for Kolaba, inspector for Chembur, inspector for Thane may be different. So what is the inspector allowed to do? The local limits will be set out. Okay. Now for whichever local limit the inspector is appointed, what can they do? They can enter with assistance, if any, being in persons of service of the government or local authority, any premises or any place where employees are employed to work. Employees matlab kaun? People who are working in scheduled employments for whom minimum rates of wages have been notified, right? Are employed and cut out workers in scheduled employment for the purposes of what can they do? Inspector has power to examine any register, record of wages or notices required to be executed. Then inspectors further have a power to examine any person whom you find in such premises has reasonable cause to believe to be employed or employed to work who is given therein. Okay, so they have power of examination, people also. Then require any person giving out or any out workers, right? When we read the definition of employees, it also included people who are out workers, people who are smelting, creating, destroying, ornamenting, right, things for you as out workers. So any person giving out work to out workers to give information which is in his power. So if let's say Sony is responsible for giving work to out workers, inspector can go ahead and examine Sony also कि इनके नाम क्या है, address क्या है, कितना आपको काम मिला है, payments कितने दिए हैं out workers को. Okay. They also have the power to seize and take copies of registers, record of wages, all of those things, and exercise any other powers as may be prescribed. What can be prescribed? Again, you have to go to the rules and find out. Okay. So inspector is a public servant, okay, for this act, and any person required to produce any document by an inspector shall be deemed to be legally bound to do so within the meaning of the IPC. So powers to inspectors are given. They are a public servant and you cannot refuse to give any copies or not answer them. There are penalties that are prescribed for that as well. Okay. Now